Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 45 of the Showbound podcast. I'm your host, Michael Raskin, here alongside San Jose Sharks prospect Ethan Cardwell, live from his hotel room in San Jose. What's going on, Cards?
Not much. Just getting ready to talk to X and stuff. Excited for this episode. Going to be a good one. He's a great kid. Obviously, it's our first Swedish guest, so we're super happy. I guess I'm already announcing our guest for the week. We're coming out hot with this one, but
let's get his name for the listeners.
Yeah, of course. William Macklin, 7th overall pick of the San Jose Sharks in the 2021 NHL draft, and he played in the SHL this year. And actually, I wanted to mention, I forgot to talk about it or bring it up in the interview, but he was one of only few players in their draft year in the SHL to actually have over a half a point per game. Like it was a stupid, crazy list of like amazing players that I saw during draft. It's like both the Sedin brothers, and then 3 other Swedish-born players who put up numbers like that in the SHL in their draft year. So he obviously put up some sickening amount of points for such a young player in such a great league. So he's got a promising future, and I think me playing with him here, it's like, wow, like he knows the game. He holds on to pucks. He plays the game well, and a lot of people will see that in the upcoming years, whether it's this year or next year or whenever it may be. He's going to be a force in the NHL for sure. But for me, I just been hanging out. I'm rooming with Brandon Coe, former guest of the podcast.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, it's been good. Me and Cozy have just been hanging out, doing our thing, enjoying it. We just got back from Arizona, actually. We had the rookie tournament there, so that was a lot of fun. I had a little bit of a injury, so
let's get into this whole thing. Yeah, tell us before you even talk about. Well, yeah, the injury happened before, so let's go like in chronological order: the injury, and then Arizona, and then everything.
Yeah, like not a major injury by any stretch of the imagination. So it's all handled now. Like I'm fine now and everything. Just unfortunate, like it happened in practice, and just kind of banged myself up a little bit. But you know what? It was okay. I still got to play in one of the games. Unfortunately, we lost in the game I did play against Colorado. So that was kind of unfortunate, but you know what? It was a sick experience just to go down there, be able to wear the NHL jersey for the first time was pretty special. And the Sharks have done an amazing job of getting me back in the lineup so quick, like just speeding up everything, making the healing go so much better when you got the top of the line recovery and therapists in the league. I mean, so it made a huge difference, and I was super happy about that. But dude, you should have seen the heat in Arizona. It was crazy, like 110 degrees. I was sitting by the pool just melting.
Benny couldn't have liked that one, Cujo. No way.
No, Benny buried himself in his hotel room. I guess he has to focus on his games too. But man, it was insane because the rinks were so damn cold. But then you go outside and it's like the desert, man. Like literally, like it's a rink in the middle of the desert. It's just like so hot there.
I guess they have to freeze the rinks, man, if they want good ice and to keep it frozen, right?
Yeah, it's the only way, just because that heat is unbearable. And then people are like, oh yeah, you got a cold day today, it's only 100 out. I'm like, cold, holy crap. So it was fun though, man. It was like I got this like, and obviously you see like so many guys that you like grew up playing with, because there was like 6 or 7 teams at that event. So you get to see all those guys. I actually got to meet our import, Oscar Olsen, who will be playing in Barrie with me. So I met him. He's playing for Colorado, their first round pick. So nice to meet him. And actually, he's a good friend of William Eklund too, who we'll hear from in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And now let's talk about the game you played. I saw the clip of you got an assist there, and it was sick. Because have you seen the video of it?
No, I haven't seen the clip.
So they're talking about the podcast. It was the face-off in the D zone, and then the rush went the other way, and you gave it to Ozzy, I think.
Oh,
right?
okay, yeah. You know what? I did see the clip, but I didn't even listen. I had it sent to me, but I didn't even listen to the audio, and I was kind of trying to figure that out. So tell me about it. Like, do you want to break it down?
So the face-off in the D zone, and during the stoppage and play, they're like, Ethan Cardwell, whatever, on the ice now and has a podcast, and they started talking about Showbound. They had Ozzy Weisblatt on, like, Ben Goudreau and blah blah. They're talking about how you interview like players around the league and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, in Cardwell passes in front to Wise, but they score. Like as they're just hyping you up and the podcast, you just dish one and we get the apple, and it was all in the same clip. It was like it was pretty sick.
Yeah, that's unreal. We'll have to post that one for sure. But
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's funny because like it was actually pretty cool because I got to play with Ozzy and obviously being roommates at Dev Camp and then playing together a little bit at the start of rookie camp here when we got here and just having him on the pod and everything. And then obviously he had 2 goals. We had a great game as a line for like I thought personally a lot of ozone time and stuff like that. But
He's got to make
yeah,
the team, right? He's so good. Like from when I've watched the games and practices and stuff, he's sick.
yeah, he's an O2 though, man. So he has to play in the NHL to make it. Can't play in the AHL. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's obviously a huge jump to the NHL. We haven't seen
Hmm.
anything yet, which I'll be able to report back next week once I'm on the ice with those guys, and it's going to be something else. I'm mentally preparing for it 2 days in advance, just because I know it's going to be a real test of hockey. Like, however good I think I am in the OHL, or anybody thinks they are in their junior leagues or college or wherever they're coming from, it's going to be eye opening for sure. And I'm just excited for that experience to be able to just skate on the ice and feel the passes and just be able
Yeah.
to learn stuff and take that back to Barry.
It's gonna be so sick for you, man. Um, Now just going back to the game you played, it was at 9 a.m. your time. Is that right?
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. We played at two in the afternoon the day before, so it's done at like 4:30. Out of there, we were like back at the hotel by like 5:30, and then the game starts at 9. Like we were up at I was up at like 5:45, shower, eat at the rink by 7, and then you're playing a game at 9 in the morning, an NHL game, like or like a rookie tournament, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
still ran by the NHL. Like it's at 9 in the morning. It's just like what is going on? But I don't know. I wasn't complaining because it was my only game that I was going to be able to play in. So
Yeah.
I was just so fired up for the opportunity. My legs were so heavy in the first period, though, man. Like I felt like just brutal because like I guess like I don't know, like you can I was bag skating and stuff all I want just to stay like game shape. Like I hadn't played in a little bit, so I just felt out of sync. And then got her going in the second and third.
Were
But
you
yeah, it was
nervous heading in?
no, honestly, I was more just like super pumped. Like I went to bed that night at 9. Like I did everything I could to be mentally prepared. So like I was ready in that sense. So like when you're that prepared, like, and I think this is another good lesson. Like we talk about it on the pod with X and everything, like preparation and like how to succeed in life and stuff like that. But like I think another thing like is if you're the most prepared person in the room, there's nothing to be nervous about because you've already done everything you can to set yourself up for success. You just have to let your capabilities and everything you've learned up to that point kind of take over from there. So like for me, I know I'm hydrated. I know I got a good night's sleep. I know I've eaten right. My head's in a good spot. There's no reason I shouldn't be able to perform, and there's nothing to be nervous about. I just go out there and play my game, and whatever happens, happens. So that's kind of the way I think about those things. But to answer your question in short, no, I wasn't really nervous, just excited.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And then I guess like, is anyone out there in like a rookie game chirping and running their mouths, or is it like everyone's just kind of shutting up and trying to play?
Oh, dude, it's some guys, like guys have to earn their roles however they can, right? So some guys are going to be a pest and a rat. Other guys are looking for fights. Big guys are trying to hit. Everyone's doing what their role is going to put them on an NHL contract or an AHL contract or whatever it may be. But so, yeah, there is a lot of guys out there chirping, throwing late hits, stuff like that. But that's just their game. So you got to give credit to them for doing what they can to find their role on a squad. Like my role may be a little bit different than the next guy's, but like everyone's doing what they can to prove themselves.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Any other what else is going on in San Jose before we kind of keep it moving?
Yeah, no, I'm just chilling. Like I got the hotel room to myself right now because all the boys are golfing. But
Needed to make sure we banged out this awesome episode. So definitely Showbound comes first, as everyone knows, and you got to give the listeners what they want. But no, it's just been beautiful weather here too, man. Like just perfect temperature, like 24 degrees and sunny. So like you can't really complain about that. So I'm probably just gonna hit a nice little dinner after that. I know you've been super busy lately too, and you got a little bit of a late night here editing this episode and making sure it's out there published for all the listeners in Sweden tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get a like a special hello actually to the Swedish listeners tuning in for this one for our new friend X. It's a really good interview actually, but yeah, I want to talk about if we can move on from San Jose that I made an appearance back in Barrie and went to a Colts preseason game.
Right.
And yeah, so first of all, we have a lot of listeners in Barrie, as is expected.
Mhm.
Um, and I pull up with my new license plate on my car. My license plate says Showbound on it now, for those who don't know. So I pull up in the Showbound car, and right when I get out of the parking lot, there was like a biker in front of me, and he was like, "Sick license plate! Like, I love that podcast." And he didn't even know like it was me. He was like talking about you and stuff, and I was like, "Okay." So naturally, like I assumed he knew who I was because he knew the podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm like talking as I would, and he's like, "Wait, like you know so much all this stuff." I was like, "Yeah, like I'm like Michael Rask, like the host other than Cardsy of the podcast." He's like, "Oh no way, like that's so cool." It was so funny and super embarrassing on my end, honestly.
That's unreal though, man.
It was
That's
so
actually
funny.
so funny. He's like, yeah, yeah, great podcast. And then you're like, yeah, like I run it. I know.
It was so funny. So yeah, it was a little embarrassing, but it was funny. And then yeah, I mean I saw all the boys after the game and stuff and said hi and talked to former guest of the podcast, Marty Williamson, your coach there, and my friend, and we had a good talk. We talked about you, but I'm gonna leave it. You don't need to know what was said.
keep
but no.
keep all the dirt you guys are talking about be private,
Oh yeah, but no, we had great talks. Saw everybody there actually. It was a really fun time going back,
And
and
dude, it was a good game too. Like
oh my god,
I
it was
mean,
a sick game.
like obviously the lineups are a bit depleted, but like you told me, like it was a sick comeback for us and stuff.
It was like 2 goals in the last 30 seconds of the game for the like empty netters for the Colts, and then win it in the shootout. And like truthfully, it was a pretty bad game until late in the third. Like it was sloppy. You know how it is in the preseason and stuff. It wasn't like there was not a lot of possession. It was a lot of like
Ping
turnovers and
pong.
stuff. Yeah, but I mean that is to be expected when there's a lot of like younger guys in the lineup who've never really played in the OHL yet. Obviously, with 2 years of new guys and preseason who haven't, people haven't played in 2 years. But just a lot of fun to be back there. Honestly, it was a good time. And then what else? Also, I mean, I'm moving to my new place in Niagara Falls, my apartment there in next week. So this is my last podcast in this setup. So
Yeah.
I'm taking it down right after we record this, and I'm moving my stuff into the place tomorrow. But I don't move in until October 1st. But I mean, it's coming off the walls, and I might shed a tear, man. It's been a good run right here at this desk, man.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate, but I mean, you got a new beginning there, and once I get back to Barrie, I need to clean up my act. I gotta wake up and get my setup going too, because I know we got potentially, not going to mention anything, but a big partnership coming up. So we want to be repping our best
Yes.
when we get that going and for future episodes. So I know you're going to do an awesome job as you always do with everything on the pod.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out.
It's gonna be nicer too, way nicer than this one, just the way it's set up. My apartment there, and I'm also like under my little poster thing in the back. I'm gonna have I have game pucks from every team I've worked for, like volunteered for, like my whole career. I'm gonna have in game pucks under this, like behind me. I think
That
it's
would be
gonna look
sick.
really really cool. So yeah, and it's not blue. The walls are nicer there too, so it's gonna be a good setup. Yeah, I'm really pumped for moving and getting there, but that's kind of between like moving and Brock and school, and like I'm so busy, man. It's been a bit of a crazy weekend, as we don't
How's
need to get into it, but my cousin's wedding like this last weekend, which I was sending you some snaps. I was like, having a good time.
you're
So
buzzing. You're having a good time there. The one thing I wanted to ask is how's the team looking? How are you guys doing so far at camp?
this is funny. I was told not to talk about it on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know how much I can say. All I can say, I can explain to you why like after, but we're looking good. It's gonna be a good year. I'm really excited for it. I think that's all I can really say. Well, just, for people who aren't interested in U Sports, which I imagine is like most of the listeners, feel free to check in on the scores every now and then and see how Brock's doing. We should be good. But actually, funny enough, so the Quebec U Sports teams, which are McGill, Concordia, and Trois-Rivières, played the Montreal Canadiens rookies today. And they only lost by a goal. It was like a really close game, and it just shows like the level. It was like they took players from like each of those teams, and some of them like haven't even, like Eric Uba I saw was on the team. You played against him in Guelph there. I think he was on last year.
From Flint.
And he hasn't even played a game in like U Sports yet, and he's on this team, and they, like a team of guys like that just almost tied or beat the Montreal Canadiens rookies. So it shows kind of the level. Like it's pretty legit.
Yeah, no, like I think I was talking about this with guys the other day. Like all the teams in U Sports would beat OHL teams.
Yeah, we played the Ice Dogs a few years ago and won 6-0.
Yeah, exactly. Like
yeah,
it's just like obviously it's like college teams. Like if you put NCAA teams against OHL teams, they're probably gonna win.
I always like to say like in a head to head for sure, like because older, bigger, all that stuff, but you just don't have those high end talent guys. Like you don't have any of those guys who are going to be dangling everybody up the ice and doing that like you see in the OHL. So that excitement of like seeing those guys, you don't necessarily have.
But like the hockey, like a lot of people don't give it the credit it deserves. And like I've realized that from just seeing guys like move on from the OHL or like sick players and they just go there and it's like, wow, like this is legit hockey. And it's always cool to see like the U Sports guys who play against the World Juniors team and like they're beating them or they're right there with them. So it does show it, like obviously maturity and being older and stronger helps, but the hockey is right there. So yeah, I mean,
yeah, we don't need it. Yeah, I'm always hesitant getting into the U Sports topic because as everyone who knows me knows, like I'm really passionate about it because it's kind of where I made my name in the hockey world so far. But I know it's like not, you know what I mean? We're not here to talk about U Sports hockey. And I got to remember, like, no one wants, people aren't wanting to listen about like what's going on in the Brock Badgers world. But it's cool. We get to talk about it a little bit every now and then. Anyway, we'll send it over to William Eklund now. So here it is.
All right. We're live here from beautiful San Jose. I'm with X here in my my hotel room. So welcome to the pod.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're just here. We just finished our little rookie tournament in Arizona. X, good tournament. Just like want to get your thoughts on how that was for you first time.
Yeah, it was fun. I think speak for all the guys coming to a rookie tournament with the team and get to play a few games. So yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, no, it was a good time. I only got to play one game. I know we talked about that in our part earlier on in the episode, but yeah, it was a good time. X looks good out there in the teal and white for sure. So it's been good, but we're just actually, Rask, we had a day off today, a little bit of an activation workout to get us going, but looking forward to starting camp here. I think we have meetings and stuff tomorrow, and then we start Thursday. So and then we'll be out there with all the big dogs, and I'm sure it'll be a little adjustment for me, but X has been playing pro for so long. This guy, he'll be dialed in, but I know you got a bunch of stuff on tap for him here. So why don't we kind of fire it into that?
Yeah, well, just for reference, since you mentioned like tomorrow for the listeners, it's Tuesday night as we record this right now. And well, first of all, X, let's get your thoughts on how it was throwing on the game jersey for the first time.
I think I can speak for me and Cardsy there. Just putting on the T-Wear jersey was amazing feeling. A feeling you've been dreamt of since you was a little kid. So it was a huge honor.
Okay, so that's actually one of my questions. I think I had it later on, but obviously growing up in Sweden, were you always thinking like NHL is the goal? Was it always a dream, or were you looking like SHL is kind of like the show?
No, I'm always been like the NHL is my dream. So and I'll obviously want to play SHL first, but then NHL was my dream.
Okay, interesting. And yeah, so for the listeners and for you to know, you're our first actual Swedish guest on the pod. So that's pretty sick, moving and taking over a new country for Showbound. But I'm curious, like, how old were you when you started playing hockey?
I think I stepped on ice first time when I was 4 in Germany. Actually, my dad used to play there, So mom got me to the rink there in Augsburg. So my first time stepping on ice.
Wow.
So were you born in Germany or Sweden?
No, born in Sweden.
Born in Sweden, and then your dad was playing in Germany, so that's kind of where you grew up. When did you move back to Sweden?
He was just there 1 year.
Okay.
So from our like maybe 3.5 to 4.5, something like that. So yeah, 1 year.
Okay. So that's, I imagine, what made you want to get into hockey, your dad, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So, I'm just curious, like back then when you were growing up, because now the NHL has more of a global market, you know, but when you were younger, was the NHL like, could you watch a game if you wanted to? Like, was it popular over there?
Yeah, I think it was kind of popular growing up. We had every kid's dream there was to play in NHL. But I can't really remember if you can watch that easy that it is right now. But
Yeah.
I watched a few games.
And then just one more, like at what age maybe did you realize it was realistic you could actually go to the NHL and make a career out of playing hockey?
I was actually kind of bad when I was young.
Really?
Yeah, I was.
When did you get good?
When I started playing Uruguayan U16, I think
That's kind of late for like a
Yeah.
top 10 NHL pick.
because I wasn't that good. Maybe somewhere there between.
But are you just being
You're
modest?
14.
Like, are you just saying that, or were you actually just sick?
No, I wasn't that good actually.
Okay.
That's the thing. I wasn't that good. Like maybe from U15, U14 to like U16, somewhere there. I started to realize like, this is the thing I want to do, and I'm starting to feel kind of good about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so like I know we were gonna touch on like growing up in Diergarten minor hockey and stuff, and he said he just like kind of got good then. Like we have a lot of young listeners on the podcast who are like kind of striving to make the NHL one day. So like you not being so good growing up, maybe you said that, like what made you so good now? Like what did you work on? What really what switch went off in your head and then kind of made you the player you are now?
I think just I enjoyed the game so much. I love the game so much. So like, I think if you want to be good at something, it's gotta come from inside of yourself. You know, I was out with the neighbors playing some street hockey, stuff like that, like pretty much every single day. And I think those things like just playing it because you love it, and you're getting better because you love it. That's the best tip for me.
Yeah, no, I think that's good words of wisdom. And definitely something like Rask, we always talk about, like we do this because we love it. We play hockey. You're the GM because you love it. Like, and that's just like a strain that kind of continues to follow along, and everyone kind of follows suit on that. And that is great advice. And well, I want to know, because Swedish minor hockey works different than over here. I'm pretty sure. Don't you guys? So can you kind of explain how the system works? You're playing under an SHL team. So basically, for the listeners who don't understand that, it would be as if like the Toronto Maple Leafs had a junior and then a minor hockey league system. And then you grow up playing in that system until eventually you obviously played in the SHL for Diergarten, which we'll get into in a little bit. But can you talk about the minor hockey aspect of it?
Yeah, as you said, it's pretty much, as you said, like
You just stole his answer, Cards.
No, I didn't mean to, but like the actual like.
No, you did explain it really well, though.
Yeah, don't you do like half ice and stuff growing up to work?
Yeah, like when you're 8, 9, maybe you start half ice, and then when you turn like 11, maybe 10, 11, somewhere there, then you full ice.
And when do you guys get into body checking and stuff like that?
In 12, 13.
Okay, so that's similar. But Rask, we always talk about like, and everyone in the world kind of understands, like the Swedes come over, they have so much skill. Like you guys are wise and stuff on the ice, and I think part of that is because of them doing half ice growing up. Like you're learning more skills in tight. You're learning how to adapt in situations. Like, can you talk about that a little bit, like playing on the half ice and learning?
Yeah, like I think for us there, just as everybody used to play your first real game was a huge thing. But also like when you're that young, it's hard to go like the whole ice because it's obviously more wider in Sweden too. So it will be like some long strides for those small kids there. So I think it's good for the improvement point for the small kids to play half ice and start there.
Yeah, and I think Rask, like I think that makes a ton of sense even for us. Like I feel like that's something I think they started integrating that in Ontario.
I was gonna say that.
Canada.
Yeah, I think Hockey Canada now, like kids start on the half ice, but it makes it's better still in Sweden with the extra 15 feet wide ice because then the half ice isn't like that tiny. I think they have it perfect over there in Sweden.
Yeah, I think it is set up nicely. And another thing is like because the hockey gets so sloppy and like X just said, like kids are too small and tired and like not long enough strides to get around the whole ice. So it makes a huge difference, but I want to keep it going. Like Rask kind of asked earlier, growing up, like the SHL was obviously a big goal of everyone to play in. It's broadcasted all over Sweden. So for you growing up in Djurgården, was that like your goal? You wanted to play for the hometown team?
Yeah, obviously, because my dad played there like 12 years in the same team. So my dream was like to go there and play the same team as him and then on to beat him and play in the NHL. So yeah, that was my dream.
So he's doing a good job of beating his dad, Rask?
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Like you mentioned how you corrected yourself to say you weren't good until you were 15, but you did say 16 at one point, and at 16 years old you played in the SHL. Is that right? Or was it 17?
No, 17, I think.
Because he's
I might have even
birthday.
been 16. He played 2 years ago. I looked it up, right? And you're 18 now.
He's a late birthday, Rask.
Yeah.
For the draft,
Okay.
that's why you may have thought that, but
Oh yeah. So 17 in the SHL is no joke. Like, so just tell us about, I guess maybe adjusting to that level, playing you played 20 games that season. How different was it from the juniors, and like how do you fare in those games?
Obviously, when you come up there, you're so like pumped up. You're excited to go there. I remember my first game was away game. It was like 5,000 in the stands or something. I wasn't used to that in the juniors. Just getting there and put on a jersey was a huge honor for me. So you just going everywhere because you're so excited. You have so much energy, and yeah, it was a real fun experience for me.
Yeah. I love hearing Swedes pronounce words with J in it. You know what I mean, Cards?
well, yeah, you look at like Djurgården, like I'm butchering it. Like he says it obviously proper, but it's got a J and stuff. It's funny, yeah, for sure. Like I noticed that when I was over there, but they probably like when I was over there, they're probably like, "What is this idiot?"
Oh yeah,
saying?
yeah, they're laughing at all of us for sure. But it's our podcast, so we get to laugh at him now. Here's a question. I'm just for the funny content. Can you say Jersey in like a Canadian accent or like an American accent?
Jersey.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, that was good. Yeah.
X is learning. He's been in San Jose for so long now. He knows all the ins and outs. So, but I know we wanted to talk about like the major year in the SHL that was, and I want like before I kind of talk about last year in the SHL and what a success it was for you. I want to like talk about like playing with men. What was that like for you? Like I know we talked about like you're so excited and everything, but like the step up actually to play against men. How was that?
Yeah, it was like coming in there. You had to first of all, like learn from the older guys. I had good mentors there. Jacob Josephson used to play in the Devils and Buffalo. So like watching those guys from the first day was a big thing for me, and asking questions, and in that way adapt and seeing how you have to be prepared for the next play, because when you get the puck you have to do something, because you gotta have like a bigger guy on you. You're obviously not going to be the biggest guy because I'm not that tall, so you have to always be ready to make the next play.
Yeah, and so you obviously adapted well after your first year, kind of a learning curve and everything. And then I think we talked about your stats yesterday. So we had 40 games played and 23 points in the SHL, which is arguably the second or third best league in the entire world for for hockey. So that's very impressive as a NHL draft eligible player. So can you kind of just talk us through how your season went last year and where all the success came from?
Yeah, I think from the first like game, the coach was believing me, and like I played on the first line there actually with Alexander Holtz and Jacob Josephson. So playing with those good players was just a great thing for me. I think we had a good run there, like 10 good games there or something. And then like trying to adapt even more to the game and getting more involved in the game. And in that way, like, I went lucky sometimes, but yeah, had a good year.
Yeah, and it makes sense that you played on such a good line there. So much young potential, obviously, with Holtz and you. And you saw Holtz kind of go through the draft the year before. And in your draft year, were you thinking about the NHL draft a lot? Was that on your mind?
Like, I wasn't trying to think that much about it, but obviously you think about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's definitely in the back of your head. And me and Rask were always talking. Like, I don't know if you have this later, Rask, but you find the rankings, like you see the rankings, the central scouting for Europeans and stuff like that, and see where you rank. Did you ever look at that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I saw it. They come up like Instagram and stuff like that. I wasn't like taking too much, what you call it,
like a look into it.
Yeah, focus on that.
Yeah. Trying to stay focused on the game. I like that. So, I mean, we'll talk about the draft. You went 7th overall to the San Jose Sharks. So, can you just take us through your draft day and kind of the moment you were picked, how it all went down for you?
Yeah, it was a good day. Was able to get all my buddies over there, my childhood friends, and Holt was there too, and some guys from the team. So we had a good day there, and was a little nervous up to the draft, as it should be. So, and when my name got like picked by the San Jose, I was just so excited and so happy.
I just got to hop in here, Rask. So what time was it there when the draft was going on?
Like I think it started at 2 in the night.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
I think I got to bed that night like 6:30.
6:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Not bad. Yeah. So, I mean, did you have a lot of contact with San Jose throughout the year? You kind of maybe had a feeling they were going to take you there?
Yeah, like I had a good feeling with San Jose. Good meetings. I liked the whole staff and everybody around. So, but obviously you don't know, so you can't really say that you know. But I had a good feeling with them.
Yeah, and I know, like, because I saw all the clips that popped up when Doug Wilson and Doug Wilson Jr. called you after the draft. They were like, "We're just so shocked to get you at 7." Was there a lot of talks with other teams that you may have thought you were going before that, or were you kind of just not had a clue and just be happy and go into the day and just see how it goes?
I was just more like, obviously I had some like talk with the other guys before and with other teams, but yeah, actually I had no idea where I was like going to.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit more nerve-wracking and stuff like that when you have no idea, but that's good. Like, how were you? I know Rask, did you just asked him how the calls went, right, with San Jose?
Yeah.
Yeah, and who'd you talk to when you called with San Jose?
I think I talked to everybody.
Yeah.
Like Doug Wilson, Doug Wilson Jr., Berkey was there too.
Ricky was there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Some scouting stuff and stuff.
Okay, yeah. Well, they load up for the big boys. I only had 3 guys on mine, Rask, so.
Yeah,
like,
you're just whatever. Like, they get the volunteers on the phone with you cards.
yeah, the hotline. No, but we wanted to talk about after the draft too, because obviously there's so much excitement in San Jose about picking you up at 7 and all the hype around next year to come and stuff. So what's your summer looked like after the draft, your training, and how you kind of prepared for this camp?
It's been a good summer. I've been able to practice with my team home in Sweden, Uruguay, at the men's team there, and able to go preseason at July, end of July there. And so I had a solid summer, and practiced good, and had a good preseason with the men's team there.
Oh, so you actually played preseason games?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they
that's
start
cool.
so early in Europe, eh? Like they're going all summer training camps and stuff.
Yeah, like we get 4 weeks off in the summer, and then you're like pretty much going in the end of July.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Hey,
That's
you know
nuts,
what,
man.
Cards? Remember, Phil Maillet, we had him on the podcast, and for the listeners, this one's funny. Like I saw months ago, he's playing in the KHL now, right? And it was like maybe middle of July, and he's like in full swing training camp. And I messaged him. I was like, where are you? He's like, oh, I'm in like wherever I am. He's like, we're going 2 months on until the first preseason game of like nonstop training every day. Like they're crazy over there.
Yeah, that's wild. So how do you what do you do? Like, is it just like quickly in the mornings and then you get to enjoy your summer still, or is it like all day training?
No, we had some like small camps, but you can like after the season you get like maybe 3 weeks off.
Oh,
2-3 weeks off.
Oh man.
And after that you go to practice with the team, like pretty much 8 weeks. From Monday to Friday, and then you get like 4
Wild.
weeks off.
How do you like to spend your time away from the rink? Like, what do you like to do for fun when you're not playing hockey?
I like paddle tennis.
Okay.
yeah, Rask, you remember me telling you about us playing paddle in Sweden? So
Yeah.
it's almost like pickleball, but it's in like a glass box, I guess. Like,
I've seen it on TikTok, man. These highlight
it's real
videos.
fun actually. It's like tennis too, you can say, like tennis and with like a cage around it.
Yeah, and you can run out of the cage and hit it in and stuff, right? Like it's great. It looks
I'm
awesome.
not that good yet, but
No, I don't buy it. X was telling me about his game. Like, I definitely feel like he's sick because he's an athlete. He lives in Sweden. Like, he plays the game. He has to be unreal. This guy might be the most humble guy ever. He says, I wasn't good till 15. I played in the SHL at 17, though. But so who knows if this guy's telling the truth or not. But we want to get your take on your first time you came to San Jose. Like, it's obviously a way different style of life over here in North America. So what are your first kind of thoughts of when you came here?
it's hot. What's the first thing? You're not used to that in Sweden. Like it get cold in the winters. So yeah, and just had a good feeling going out to the first dive camp there. Just was going to look at the city and everything around it. So yeah, just meeting the staff and everything was so cool for me, and real fun.
Yeah, I want to also know X went to his first baseball game ever too, Rask, at development camp. So what's your thoughts? I know I was kind of telling you what was going on out there. What's your thoughts on the baseball game?
First, I had no clue what was going on. Like I had to like really focus on the game and what's happening. But then Cardsy got into it and started explaining. But yeah, it was real fun. It was a big rivalry game, right?
Yeah, San Fran versus Oakland. So it was packed too. There was like 65,000.
It was real fun actually. So yeah, you scream when you got a home run and stuff. So
There you go.
Yeah, X knows if it goes out of the park in between the poles, you start screaming. So that's good. And lastly, kind of things after the draft, like you signed your NHL contract. So how was that? And when did you know, like obviously going 7th overall, you're going to sign, and we kind of want to know if there's any big purchases you made after signing your contract.
like purchase, what is that?
Purchases like
Did you buy anything?
What new things did you buy anything?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know actually. I went with my brother to the city, and he got to buy go and buy what you want, like in the shop.
Yeah, shopping spree.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, we have really good relationship, me and my brother. Obviously my old brothers, but we had like a thing before the draft, like if I get signed, you and me go to the city and we do this.
That's sick.
Guys, can we make a thing like that? If you sign, you get to take me out for a shopping.
Yeah,
spree or
Ras,
what?
we'll meet. We'll go to Yorkdale, and you can just blow it out. That's pretty sick, though. That's nice of you. What a good guy, eh?
Yeah. I'm curious. I mean, yeah, obviously signed the contract. Have you found out what San Jose's plans are for you this year? Like, are you going to be playing on the Sharks or going back to Sweden or AHL? Like, do you know what's happening?
No, not right now. And we had like pretty open discussion, but obviously just go here for the camp and just wait and see how I do in the camp. And after that, we have a discussion about what's going to happen.
Get some preseason games in and stuff and see how you fit, maybe.
Yeah. Rask, we were kind of talking about it before we came on the air, but like we were saying, like, obviously the Swedes, it's so much skill in that league, and then you have the AHL option, which is a lot harder on pucks, tougher league and stuff. So it's kind of like wherever you need to develop, and it's better for you, right? So
we'll see.
Yeah, and I know Rask kind of invented a new segment, and I kind of told you about it before, but we're gonna do a personality questionnaire. And I was kind of telling X what it's about, and he goes, "Oh, this sounds like a NHL draft interview all over again."
The Islanders quiz, man.
Yeah, did you do that? Did you ever get interviewed by the Islanders?
Yeah.
Did you have to take a quiz that they sent you? Oh, how long was that?
It was really long.
Was that your worst one of all?
I don't know. Yeah, I had a few of those, I think.
Oh, buddy, I don't know how I'd last if I had to do
That's the life of a top prospect, man.
Yeah, I know. A guy's probably always on the phone. Got the Zoom dialed in. I mean, just always working at all your sponsors too. So keeping you busy, bud. But new segment with the guests moving forward as well. So first question: how would your teammates describe you?
I think they would describe me as a social person, outgoing, likes to do things, and yeah, pretty much open for everything. Just going to dinner or eating and paddle tennis or golfing or everything. Like, want to do stuff.
Yeah, you're always interested, like, because I know, like, normally, like, the Swedes and the Europeans in general, they kind of stick to each other. But like X is actually like he's always coming out with us like to dinner. Top golf the other day, which was fun.
How's your golf game?
It's all right. Getting better.
Okay.
Work in progress. It might not be as good as his paddle game, but it's getting close. Like once, hopefully I sign down the road and I can teach you a thing or two when we get out there.
That will be fun.
Yeah, we'll go for sure. And all the boys are actually there right now. We're asking golfing 18. Then we're gonna go meet them for a dinner somewhere, but that's yet to be figured out. Do you have any childhood heroes or people you looked up to?
Yeah, like obviously, my dad.
Yeah,
was like a hero for me when I grew up. Like in sports wise, because he was playing on a team that I wanted to play on, and I would say both my parents, my mom too. She's been really nice to me also. So yeah, those two.
Yeah, good support system. And I know we were talking about like mental health, and like you said, like for you, it's very important that you surround yourself with good people. You want to kind of just talk about that quickly?
Yeah, like it's pretty much everything. Like if your mental health is good, you play good. You have to be around people that makes you feel good and makes you feel happy. So
yeah. And Rask, we haven't really mentioned that a lot, like talking about mental health in correlation to hockey and stuff. And me and X were having a good conversation about that. He's like, yeah, like I try to surround myself with like he was telling me like his buddy's like a nutritionist, his other buddy's like a therapist and like trainer and stuff, and like they have like a good little group going there that like kind of helps him succeed, and it makes a lot of sense. Like you pick the people you want to be around and make you want to succeed, right?
Yeah, like they always are good buddies of mine, and yeah, they're into those to nutrition and therapists. So yeah, both are helping me, and if that can benefit my game, then I'm more than glad to help them. Then yeah, I think that's a big key for success, like in pretty much everything you do in life. Like mental health is everything.
It all starts there. And I mean, getting back on track here, I guess, to the personality quiz. I saw you munching on some pizza yesterday at the rink, but if you had one slice of pizza, what would be your go-to?
You might not like this, You
Pineapple.
like
He's gonna say pineapple.
You like pineapple?
I love pineapple.
do?
Yeah.
Swedish pizza. You like that?
Yeah, of course I love
The
Swedish
thin ones?
pizza. Yeah, the thin. You
Oh,
have to
yeah.
have the thin.
Oh yeah.
So you're
Hawaii.
Hawaii,
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Hawaiian too. We're gonna get ripped on for this though, I think.
No, remember we were talking about this in like an episode forever ago, but that's the best kind for sure.
Yeah, I like that. I
100%.
love it.
Yeah, thin.
I think like meat lovers though, like just throw like bacon, sausage, like even like ground beef, like anything on a pizza, like that is better in my opinion.
I love that little contrasted taste with the pineapple on there. So
Ham and
good.
pineapple.
Yeah, they do it right in Sweden with the thin crust too. So you're not getting all those extra carbs. That's why they're in better shape than us.
Yeah, fair enough.
Where would you go to if you could travel anywhere in the world?
Like Bali or something.
Bali?
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
Just like see a whole new place that you've never been to. I like you'd like never that you're in a close like culture, what you call it.
Yeah, like a new culture that you've never kind of seen.
Yeah, exactly.
And you want to like discover it.
Yeah, want to see it.
Yeah, it'd be.
What about you, Cards?
That's a difficult one for me. I would say something like that too. Like I always see these TikToks about these like cheap vacations in Bali and stuff, and it looks gorgeous, and you can get like a meal for $2. I'm like, yep, sign me up.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I'm definitely interested. Like I was super interested about just going to Europe for the first time, and like I was in X country obviously, and it's a lot different as he's seen coming here and everything like that. So I'd be really open to going to like a place like that or like Rio or something to kind of see what their lifestyle is even like, which is quite different than both of ours.
yeah, very
You?
fair. I'm actually like I'm a pretty well traveled person. So to pick a place like I haven't been yet that I really want to, I might say Greece right now is my number one.
Greece.
Probably-
That's a nice spot.
You
Yeah.
been? What'd you think?
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's hot and all like all inclusive hotel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So you ate a
eating
lot.
so much, who you want and stuff like that. Yeah, it's good.
Do you do well? You like the heat and stuff? I take it.
What?
Do you
Like
like
you,
to
you
eat?
like being in
Yeah.
the sun and being in the heat?
Yeah, but like
Okay.
you're not used to it, but
Yeah.
trying to adapt to it.
You'd
Yeah.
look good with a tan. I could see walking around the beaches and stuff. It's funny because last week we had Ben Goudreau on, and he was saying like he does not do well in the heat.
X is gonna have to get used to it once he signs his big ticket here after his ELC. He's gonna be locked up in California for a while.
Oh yeah, not a bad place to be. Okay, so we'll take it into the hard hitting questions now. We go from the light and funny ones, and we'll get right into it. So, what is the meaning of true love?
Oh, what to me, like having a person that you like, you want to be able to do anything for, and that's stands really hard, to, like close to your heart, and that you sometimes even put yourself aside and just focus on that person. Oh yeah, if you can call it that.
Yeah,
that.
no, that's a good
Wow,
answer. That's,
no, that was the
might,
best
that
answer
might top
yet.
it off. That might
Yeah.
be better than because we had Boards on like 2 weeks ago, and he gave a good answer. I think he just topped it though.
No, that's definitely the best answer we've had. And do you have a girlfriend or are you single?
I'm saying,
Oh, so even as a single guy, what an answer, eh? Like the girls listening are gonna love that one.
Yeah, X a good looking dude too. Watch out.
So, wow, good for you. What is the meaning of life? Let's see if you got this one.
the meaning of life, do something you love. Pretty easy, I think.
Yeah, it ties right back into the other question,
Yeah.
but
Should have asked that one first. Okay. What are 5 things that you can't live without?
5.
And then Cards, I want you to answer this one too after.
okay.
Hockey gotta be a thing. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
gotta be a thing. Those one. Oh, this is hard. Like 5.
At least give us 3.
Hmm.
A phone
Phone?
right now to keep in
Yeah,
touch with
that's fair.
everyone.
Give us one more.
Hello, yeah.
Paddle, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, paddle's one of them. There's got to be more. Your family.
Okay, yeah, my
I was
yeah,
thinking more like physical items, even like because anyone could say like family hockey, you know?
yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, phone's a good one. Paddle.
Yeah, phone. We can go power. That's good enough. I don't know. We could be here all day right now.
Yeah, legit.
What about you,
Okay.
Cards? You got any? Do you have any like physical items you can't live without?
A hairbrush, because my hair is just a mess if I don't brush it in the morning. Like, it's actually not bad right now.
Got a
But
good,
yeah,
good hair, yeah.
yeah, good hair day. Yeah, I put some nice crew shampoo in it today at the rink, so it's feeling good.
Oh,
But,
so many
other than
shampoos at the rink in the NHL. Eh?
Oh yeah, I was telling them on a few episodes ago, like, you go in the shower, it's just shampoos everywhere in the San Jose one.
Yeah.
You like that, eh? Yeah, it's nice. That gets the boys going, Rask.
What else? Give me two more things other than your hairbrush.
A hat, because I
Okay.
always wear a hat. Everyone knows I always wear a hat. So hairbrush in case like I have to go to a game or something where I can't wear a hat, but like I'm always rocking a hat other than that. And then I'd probably say golf clubs because everyone knows love to be on the links. But that's mine. Like, do you want to send it into our favorite part of the episode now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, next we had like a lot of fan questions they were asked. So we're super pumped. Thanks to all the fans who wrote in and asked this week. But we're going to start it off with our favorite question and the one that's most frequently asked. What stick do you use and what specs are on it?
Specs, flex.
Specs is like flex, curve, and stuff.
Okay. I'll go with the CCM AS3 Pro. I got like the Trigger 6 custom
Wrap.
Yeah, wrap. Got a little personal made curve from P29.
Okay.
But some other stuff's made like harder blade and other stuff. And then I have 75.
Okay. Yeah, get that snapshot going.
I'm
If
taking
you were
notes on that one. I might have to get my own custom stick and I can be good again.
Yeah, find your game. It's all right. X found it when he was 15. What are you 23 now? 22? You can still
22.
get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can still fire it up. If you were trapped on an island and had to survive for a month with 3 other people from the San Jose Sharks organization, who would you want on that island?
I love this question.
Anyone from the organization.
Berkey has to be there.
Berkey?
Has to be there.
Yeah, he has to because he knows everything.
Yeah.
Let me just put it in context. So Tim Burke, our assistant GM, might be the smartest guy.
Yeah, he's such a good guy.
Yeah, he's insane. He knows everything, Rask. He has a photographic memory, so he always he has the answer to every question. So he would know how to survive out there. So that's one.
You going there?
Yeah, I'll come.
Yeah, let's go. We're doing a podcast from the island.
Yeah, legit. One more.
It's hard. I don't know. Who's orientated? Who knows? Things.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we can help you out here.
Yeah.
It could be on the team too. Like it could be anyone.
Weatherby, my roommate.
Yeah, Weatherby.
Yeah, he's good at that.
He's on point, eh?
Yeah,
He's a pro. He's an older guy with the younger guys. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be the one to get the food? Like who's killing animals and stuff to eat for the boys?
Weather's a big boy.
Yeah.
He'd get in there.
Yeah.
Take some bodies out for us. Favorite food?
Favorite food. That's the hardest, maybe.
That's the hardest one.
I'm like, right now, all I'm thinking about is Swedish meatballs.
Swedish meatballs.
Oh yeah.
You've been out like a long time since you eat it.
Yeah. So like when you go back, you're gonna be like, this is the best thing ever.
Probably.
Yeah.
Cards, you ever go for the IKEA meatballs?
Yeah, I've had the IKEA meatballs.
They're so
time
good.
too. Yeah, they don't compete with authentic.
No,
Swedish
definitely
meatballs.
not. But those are the best like meatballs you can find in Canada. I'm convinced.
Yeah, X's Subway wraps aren't cutting it. Eh? You want the Swedish meatballs.
Yeah, I want them.
Wilson Jr. was telling us that there's a Swedish restaurant around here.
Yeah, I
Remember
heard
that?
that too. I heard it.
So you'll have to go hit that up. There you can get your pregame meatballs and you'll be ready to go.
Well, yeah, that was one of the fan questions I didn't put in. But what's your pregame meal?
Pregame meal. I like pasta actually. Good pasta with some tomato sauce and actually meatballs there too.
Yeah, for
There
sure.
it
You
is.
always gotta add the meatballs. Pre-game routine. Do you have any like things that you have to do before the game?
I had to go for always have to go to the pregame walk, get myself mentally prepared, like 20 minutes or a half hour, just listening to music and getting in the mood.
Is that like the morning of a game day?
Yeah, first you go into the rink, do morning skate, and then you go you have lunch at the rink first, and then you go home and maybe get a nap in, and after that I like to go on a walk.
Rask, I do that too. Actually, it gets your legs going too.
Yeah,
It wakes you up a bit for sure. I like to go for one right after I have my nap, walk, and then eat and go.
Yeah,
gets you going. Anything at the rink? Like, is there anything in warm up that you have to do with the puck, or is there anything like how you tape your stick, or does it not matter to you?
I always I'm like my own warm-up that I do every time, the same one, and had to be like kick some soccer in the ring too. That's nice.
Yeah, for sure. Do you chirp a lot on the ice? I know the answer to this one. No.
I'm not maybe sure.
Yeah, Rask, what do you think about that? Does X need to start throwing some chirps out there?
I think it's only right to come in the league as a rookie and start talking to everybody. I think it's just what you're supposed to do, right? Isn't that the code as a rookie? Go to the biggest guy on the other team who's been there for 20 years and start talking shit.
Yeah. Love the X plan. X actually has good English and Swedish, so he could be yelling at the Swedish guys and all the North Americans. So
Yeah.
he'll be
Here's
dishing
one. Here's another question from me. Would you ever fight?
Like now, not like dropping gloves. Obviously,
Okay.
they've been in some like what you call brawls.
like
Yeah.
scrums and brawl.
Scrums,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but nothing like dropping gloves and stuff.
Yeah.
Well-
That could be Cardsy's role on the team. You can be his protector there. Just start fighting
Yeah, once
everybody who touches him.
Hopefully I'll make it down the road. And yeah, I can take care of X. I mean, I just got to work on my own toughness first. So I can
Yeah,
get in.
you're a skill
I'll
guy
get in
too.
I'll get in a few warm up fights, and then whenever X gets touched, I'll get in there for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the way your OHL preseason's been going, that you might have a new player style, man. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe a bit of a new roll banger. Get pucks in deep and run some bodies. Make
That
sure
was
X
my
is all right
specialty.
out there. But that's it for me. Like, you got anything, Rask?
I think this was pretty good. I mean, I could honestly go forever, but I know you guys have places to be and stuff. But I think I just want to say, like, on behalf of the listeners, I think this was a really fun one. It was cool hearing about coming from a Swede who's now playing in North America. Like, I think it's a really cool story to tell. And I just want to thank you for taking the time and coming on. And I'm excited to hopefully you make the team and watch you in San Jose this year.
Yeah, thank you very much. Pleasure
Yeah.
being here.
I want to, because we're gonna have a lot of Swedes listening this week. Can you send back a Swedish message, talk in Swedish, and give just a quick message to the listeners listening? Maybe like a thank you for listening or something like that, or like, I don't know,
Yeah, I can
words
do
of
that.
wisdom. Yeah, give us some Swedish words here.
Okay. Like right now?
Yeah.
Ja, tack för att ni lyssnar allihopa. Hoppas ni in och kollar på podcasten så hörs vi framöver.
Okay, I
All
have
right.
absolutely no idea what he said.
Yeah,
And
we're going to
neither
get
will any of
canceled
the
now,
North-
Cards. He just sewered us.
Yeah. They said this is the worst podcast ever. Never listen to this. But no, I don't even want to know what he said. I just want to leave that to our Swedish listeners.
Yeah, just a special gift for them. And all right, yeah, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right. And I thought that was a good interview. Our first Swedish guest on the pod. What'd you think, Rask?
Yeah, it was sick, man. He's such a nice guy too. And actually, every Swedish person I've met in my life, I think, is really nice. Like, I haven't met a bad Swedish guy ever.
No, like, yeah, they're super down to earth and like really nice people. And I think like we just talked to X like after, like off the air, and he was like, yeah, I started sweating because he has to like focus the whole time to like first translate the English we're speaking to him in his head and then try to articulate some words onto the pod, like for the listeners. So like that's a mental grind for those guys, but no, I'm just super happy he wanted to, and he was so open about like coming on the podcast and everything like that. And he's a nice, like, outgoing guy, and like you said, just super nice. So I'm glad we got that one. And our first Swedish guest was a success. So we might have to explore that option some more down the road. But I know we wanted to talk about some other sports that are going on. First, I guess we can start with the Jays. I know you're a big Jays fan.
Yeah, definitely. It's exciting when the Jays are making a playoff push. I think, before we even talk about this, I think the format of playoffs in baseball is really stupid. Like,
you know what? It's funny. It's funny you say that, because we just talked about that in the dressing room yesterday.
okay, yeah. I mean, it's impossible to make the playoffs, man. It's like
And then
so
you get
rare
it,
that your
wait.
team makes it. And then if you make it, yeah, you're in a 1-game wild card and you lose, and then
And then it's a 3 out of 5. Like, you play, we were saying this yesterday, you play 162 games
yeah.
and then it all comes down to one. Why does that make sense? And why is nobody in the playoffs?
Yeah, there needs
I
to be.
hate it.
And
I don't
the
like
thing
it.
is, for the MLB, they make more. The more games there are, especially in the playoffs, the more money they make. I mean, you're talking
Yeah.
big TV, big crowds, just a lot more money, more sponsors, everything about it. And why wouldn't they make it? I don't know. And it's the same teams every year because there's no salary cap. So like whoever's the richest makes the playoffs. And then, so anyway, to go back to the Jays, it's nice to see the Jays in the hunt. The last couple of weeks has been fun. I don't even watch baseball unless I'm like live in person. It's like I sometimes find it a little boring, if I'm being honest, but I love the Jays. So it's good to watch now that the games like are more meaningful.
Yeah.
And I just really hope to make the playoffs and get some good entertaining baseball to bridge the gap from the end of summer to hockey season.
Yeah, exactly. I hope they can make a little run here, get themselves in the playoffs, and then go on, because they have a great team and they're really heating up at the right time. So I think they can definitely do something special in the playoffs. And I'm just hoping Vladdy hits 50 home runs, because that would be pretty cool for him as such a young player, and maybe potentially gets the Triple Crown too. And he should have MVP, but who am I to say anything?
Yeah, we'll see, but it's definitely, and what's good is like the team has a very promising future. So I think we might get some good Blue Jays baseball for quite some years to come. And we can talk about some football. We're kind of bringing in the NFL talk at the end of the podcast now. So I mean, you being the more knowledgeable one, what do you want to talk about here this week? What went on? I know what's his name? Jackson Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like I saw him pour in the water after the Chiefs loss or whatever. For those who don't know, like just a TikToker, like brother of what's his name? How do I not even know the
Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes' old brother. He's like a TikTok star guy. He's just like fighting fans and stuff.
Yeah, that was funny. And then I saw Dave Portnoy from Barstool like recreated it, because
I saw that one today actually. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a huge rivalry. But like, I wanted to talk about, like, how about them Cowboys? That's a big win for us. Get back to 1-1 on the season, with a depleted lineup nonetheless, as a 3.5 point underdog, I think, too. So good win there. Cowboys are rolling, beat the Chargers this week. And just quickly before we wrap up this episode, let's just talk about Tom Brady, man. This guy he's getting better as he ages. Like, the game he played the other night was just out of control, just putting up points like you couldn't even believe. And Gronk getting touchdowns like crazy this season. I can't even believe it. These guys are just popping off. And I actually did see a TikTok the Tampa Bay Buccaneers posted.
I saw it too.
That says Tom Brady said that he thinks he will play till 50. And if he plays till 50, that gives us 6 more years. Let's make predictions right now. How many Super Bowls do you think he wins if he plays till 50? More. How many more?
3 more.
So you think he goes 50%?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say 2, 33%, but because I'm a math guy, just throwing numbers around.
Yeah, I think he wins this year in 2 years, and then as a 50-year-old, he wins.
That would be sick, actually.
Cap it off and walk off as an old man.
Yeah, dude. Like, they have such a good team around him too, that it's like they're going to be tough to beat this year. And then one more notable thing is the Packers bouncing back after a terrible week 1. They obviously
my team
worked their magic on the Lions, as they should. The Lions are kind of brutal, but No, I think.
And the Bills update, 35-0 win. We're a Bills podcast now. At least my side of the podcast is now a Bills podcast.
Yeah, Bills Moff just dominated the Dolphins. My brother ain't too happy about that one. Big Dolphins fan, but
Oh, really? That's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, suck it though.
Yeah.
But all right, I think from a other sporting events standpoint, that kind of does it for us. You got anything else for the listeners here?
Yeah, I mean, I guess other than that, just excited for another week here and a big week for me moving and all that stuff. So I don't know. I guess, Card, do you want to take it away with the outro here?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're moving into fall here very soon. You got big things coming ahead of you with Brock and with moving to school and everything like that. I've got big things ahead of me here at main camp and then getting the season going with Barry. So it seems to be a busy time of the year for everyone. So just everyone enjoy this time. Kids are back in school. Parents are probably pretty excited about that for anyone listening. But yeah, no, just keep doing your thing. And as X says, just do what makes you happy. So that's all we got for you this week. See ya.